I'm going to discuss a little bit about the thickness of the back plate. When I first started carving out the inside of the plate, I mentioned that the overall thickness would be 4.5 millimeters, but that's just a preliminary thickness. Final thickness, the upper and lower bouts will be thinned out to 2.5 millimeters. So I wanted to show how I come up with the central area of thickness using basically a sort of standard Stradivari thickness layout. So first I identify the center of the plate, which I've already done is right here. And I'll draw a circle with a radius of 19 millimeters. And I have my little cheat sheet here. So 19 millimeters. The center of thickness will be there, about 4.5. And then I add another 19, another compass circle with the radius, an additional 19 millimeter radius. And a third compass circle with an additional 19 millimeters. And that marks out the main center of mass, or center of thickness for the plate. It will be 4.5 millimeters in the central area, thinning out to 2.5 in the upper and lower bouts. I have thickness maps of several Stradivarius backplates, and I'll post that in the community tab on my YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, you can take a look there. Around 1715, the Strad thickness was about even with the upper corners, and it extended down somewhat below the lower corners. So 4.5 in the center, about 3, and about 3.5 and 3 here, and then 2.5 in the upper and lower. Now, before I continue, I should mention measurements. I did say that this radius of this center circle is 19 millimeters, but that's not quite right. In Cremona in the 1700s, they were not using millimeters. They were basing measurements off of proportions of the length of the plate as measured from the inside purfling line, which would be about the same length as the inner form for the ribs. So the inner circle is actually, well, before I do that, we'll talk about the center of oscillation. So if you divide the length of the plate by 12 and then measure in 3/12, and that's close, I missed it by a little bit. 3/12 and 4/12 would be right there. So the center is here. I've already marked it. and also 3/12 and 4/12 from the from the neck in. On the later Stradivarius violins, the center of thickness ends about here and extends down, well, roughly like this. Now the center circle, I mentioned that it was 19 millimeters radius, but it's actually 4/72. So in the Cremonese measuring system, they had a measurement that was divided into 12ths. So the back plate is divided into 6 equal portions of 12 points, and that would be 72. So you divide the length of the plate by 72, and that gives you so the center of the radius of the smaller circle is 4 points, and 4 for each of the other circles. So I just wanted to mention that about proportions. That's how it would have been done in the 18th century. I've already thinned out the plate to these measurements, but I didn't post a video showing the process of thinning it out, so I'll go ahead and add that video now. So after that, the only thing remaining to do will be to do the edge work on the plate, and then it will be ready to glue to the ribs.